celebrate Clifford the Big Red Dog's 25th anniversary on TV, I thought I'd do a review on the show, looking at the history, the nostalgic factor, and the impact. So let's get started. Clifford the Big Red Dog was very popular over the years, and Scholastic knows this very well. The man behind the creation of Clifford was Norman Bridwell, a children's author and cartoonist with the goal to create stories that children could appeal to. His big success came in the 60s, when he had an idea of a young girl with a ginormous dog. After failing to get a job as an illustrator in 1962, one of the publishers decided to turn one of his designs into a story, believing in his potential, and that was how Clifford was created. Since 1963, when Scholastic published the first book of the series, he became an unstoppable icon, and he's now Scholastic's official mascot. Now that we talked a little bit about Norman Bridwell, let's focus on the main event, the Clifford the Big Red Dog TV series that aired on PBS Kids in the early 2000s.
Clifford needed Emily, so she chose him for her own.
However, the first time Clifford appeared on TV was back in the 80s and 90s when Scholastic produced VHS specials of Clifford. Then came 1999 when Scholastic partnered with PBS to create one of the most popular shows on PBS Kids. The show was a hit, but it only lasted for 3 years and 2 seasons. Now, enough about the history. The show follows around Clifford, as after being too big for Emily Elizabeth's apartment, they decided to move to Birdwell Island, just like it describes in the theme song.
So they packed up family car and the Howards left the city.
The animation and visuals are modern 2000s, just like it should be, and I think it's very expressive. The stories are very well told, and the adventures they go on are hilarious and enjoyable. Now, the one thing that does bother me was that it started in 2000 and ended in 2003. I felt like it should have ran longer, but I think mostly it's because Clifford's voice actor, John Ritter, passed away 1 year after 9/11, and I didn't really watch any of his other work, 'cause at first I didn't know this guy, but now that I'm older, I can finally check out his other shows. It's never too late. Now I'm going to express some of my favorite episodes from the show. One episode is The Great Race, where basically Mac challenges T-Bone to race him. T-Bone is obviously skeptical and nervous, but Cleo and Clifford are there to give him some motivational training. So the race is on. But Mac, who is an expert at rigging the system, cheats along the way. First, he pushes a pile of seaweed where T-Bone is landing, then turns on the sprinklers, and then puts a boulder on the wagon and covers it with sand. The only thing he didn't cheat on was the race to the finish. They both complete the race, and while Mac is celebrating his victory, the others are cheering for T-Bone as he did his best. And then Mac finally confesses that he cheated and lets T-Bone keep his collar. While it was a good idea for a race, I highly don't think cheating your way to victory is going to solve all this, but overall it's still a good episode. Another episode is when Mac had a secret dog club that he announced to the others, but for some reason, Mac doesn't think T-Bone should be a member because apparently T-Bone has to get there without any help. The others obviously disagree with that, and even I disagree with that. I thought it was bullshit. So they take a vote, and just when T-Bone gets lucky, Mac has to bring up some more bullshit. He claims that because he's the president, he gets 4 votes, making it 3 yeses and 4 nos. Then Clifford's like, that's it, I don't want to be in this shit anymore. And then they all leave. Thank God. If you're going to have a secret dog club, you shouldn't blab it out to everybody. And you're sure as hell aren't supposed to barricade the opening of your club to dogs like T-Bone for stupid-ass reasons. He at least seen the error of his ways and lets T-Bone in the club, but the amount of bullshit Mac causes is ridiculous. Another episode is Tummy Trouble, where Clifford, Cleo, and T-Bone eat so many dog treats, but we'll get to the craziest part in just a little bit. It starts off with Clifford doing tricks, and Mrs. Bleakman announces that they're painting their fence, and they don't want a repeat of last time, which is valid. Emily Elizabeth goes to her soccer game with Charlie, and Clifford finishes doing this trick, and while he's waiting, he makes this very funny look with his mouth wide open and his eyes shut. It's very awkward. Eventually, he realizes this and starts to freak out. Then Cleo has the idea to get it for him. They all share the treat, and then Clifford reminds him that they have to do tricks for treats.
Emily was giving me treats for doing tricks today.
So they all do tricks, and everything is going fine until Clifford crashes backwards into the fence, and his back is covered in paint. They try to wash it off, all while eating more treats. Then after a while, they get fat as shit from eating all those treats.
Hey, that's not nice.
After soaking in the dirt, he shakes himself off, and his back is clean. But the backyard is not. There's dirt and mud all over the grass, the walls, and the fence. They hurry their asses up even while they're fat, and they clean it up as fast as possible. Emily, Elizabeth, and Charlie come back, and they see that the barrels are empty. So Emily calls them out on it, and they all learn their lessons. Whoopee! One final episode is the dog park, where Mr. Bleakman tries to relax on a bench, but Clifford and his pals try to ruin it when it's not even their fault. That's just what they do. One of the games they play is Red Rover, which I heard is a dangerous game. I don't know. Anyway, Clifford is the one who has to break the chain, and the others are the chain, and they all interlock each other's paws, I guess. When Clifford comes barreling down, they all run away.
Get out of the way!
When Clifford tries to stop, it seemed like the animators had a blast in doing this. He's freaking flopping and skidding and slipping and sliding, feeling alright. So after a while, Bleakman's fed up and puts a sign up saying, "No dogs allowed," which makes everyone sad. His wife reminds him that the children always go there with the dogs. No dogs, no kids. No kids, no laughter. Simple as that. Bleakman finally has a change of heart and lets the dogs and the kids back into the park. I do understand his frustration, though. I would be pretty annoyed when everyone's ruining my time. But dude, get over it! Anyway, enough of me rambling. It's time for the rating. The episodes are all well done, and the animation is modern, and there is humor and comedy in there. I just wish this show would last for a little while longer. Anyway, I'm gonna give this show a solid S tier, or a 9.4 out of 10. And happy 25th anniversary, Clifford. And as for John Ritter, we hope you're smiling down in heaven. We all miss you very much, pal.
Woo!